Hello and welcome. My name is Seshu and I'm part of NetXperts Academy. In this video, I'm going to discuss about how to configure the ISP network. So before we get into the ISP network, what I'm trying to do here, I just want to explain to you what are the things that I'm going to do. Let me open my pen. So the first thing, what I'm trying to do here, basically, this is my HQ and this is my branch. So in HQ, I'm going to take one Cisco router that is connected to ISP. So this is the one I'm going to show you to guys, how I'm going to set up this. So here, what I'm trying to do, I just take a couple of routers. I'll take router 1. This is from ISP. And I will take another router. Then I'll take another router like this. So that this router, what I will do, I'll connect to the real internet connection. Okay, guys. Okay. And in between these routers for communication purpose that I'm going to use RIP. Okay, RIP version 2 that I'm going to configure it. And here I'm going to use the public subnet range, which is 89.98.99.0 slash, let's say slash 28. Okay, so you guys have to tell me if it is a slash 28, which means how many public IPs that I'm going to get. So it's very simple. As I told you my previous video, the slash 28 is representing as 28 network bits. The remaining 29, 30, 31, 32. So which means there is a 4 bits or belongs to a host. So 2 power 4 minus 2. 2 power 4 is nothing but 16 minus 2, which means you are going to get 14 public IPs. I hope you are clear, guys. Yeah. So this is like you can consider like that I got a public IP range from my service provider and they given to me slash 28. Okay. So I'm going to configure this range. So basically in this router, it's under the this router, it's basically it's a customer premise. This router, it's called it as a customer premise. So we can say that it's a CP is nothing but customer premise equipment. So in this router, what I'm going to do, I just configure the subnet which I got it from my service provider, which is 89.98.99.0 slash 28. Then here I'm going to configure .2 and here I'm going to configure .1. And he can write most of the time we are going to write one default route. You get my point, guys? So always remember that the service provider is not going to do any changes in your router. Why? Because it's not belongs to them. So he's going to play with only his network. So same thing here, what I'm trying to do, I'm going to configure 78.87.88.0 slash 30. So which means, what do you mean by slash 30, guys? Can anybody? So 30 bits or belongs to a network and remaining 2 bits, 31 and 32, which means there is a 2 host bits, which means 2 power 2 minus 2. Then it will be 4 minus 2, which equal 2. So which means you are going to get 2 IP addresses, one from service provider, which is .1, and one from my side, which is .2. This is what I'm going to do, guys. Okay, but most of you guys are going to get some kind of confused exactly how we are going to configure the service provider network, because most of the people, what they do when they're going to build their labs and all, they just use normal private IPs. You get my point, for the public network also. But most of you guys, whenever the trainers they are going to teach, they are going to say this is the public IP range, this is the private IP range. The private IP range that we are going to use it for internal communications, and public IP range is going to provided by our service provider. And using the public IP, we can able to talk to the internet. You have this kind of impression. So that's why if you want exactly how you are going to set up the public network, that I'm going to show it to you in this lab. Then after that, in my next lab, that we are going to see how to configure the web server, RDP and telnet. Those things we are going to see it, guys. Okay, so let's go and see what I'm trying to do now. So before we get into that, first let's open my GNS. This is I don't want at the moment. So open GNS, go to the file, then click on the new blank project. that I'm going to specify here. It's ISP network setup. So what's the today's date? Then today's date is, which is 28. Okay, 28 06 2026, and this is my lab. Then click OK. So first thing is that, as I discussed to you guys, just click on these routers. So this is my router that I'm going to take. This is my router. So now just wait for a few seconds that you are going to get the router, guys. Don't worry about it. So behind the scenes, as I told you, that I am going to take this information, this images and all from my server. So don't worry about it. First time it's going to take a little bit time. Then after that, I'm going to build the service provider network. So now let's take one more router. So this is the service provider, router 2 and router 3 and router 4. And other side also, let's consider like this is another customer. Okay. So if you want, you can change this name as a host name. So this is my customer A. Say okay. And this is my customer B. So what I'm trying to do now, change the host name, and you can give customer D. Then after that you can click OK. After this, let's go and take the cloud here, because the cloud is nothing but, guys, that's my real internet. Okay, that's the magic here. Just take a cloud, and I'm going to connect my remote server by using Ethernet 0. So let's go and connect it. Ethernet 0 by 0 is connected to Ethernet 0. That's my cloud. So here from my service provider, I'm going to take Ethernet 0 and I'm connecting here Ethernet 0 by 0. Then after that, from here, I'm going to take a serial interfaces, guys, so that you can feel that you are connected to the internet. Okay. So serial 2 by 0 to serial 2 by 0. Then from here, I'm going to connect serial 2 by 1, which is going to connecting to serial 2 by 0. And from here, I'm going to take again Ethernet interface that I'm going to connecting to other customer. Okay, guys. So this is my complete lab setup for my ISP. Also, for you guys, if you want, just you can just power it on. So meanwhile, it's going to getting ready. Now I'm going to take it something square. Okay, so that if you are going to take a square, the advantage is that you can show it to your customers, or you can able to feel that this is my real internet. Just right click on here and click on the lower one layer. So, and in case if you want to do some other things, that's okay, no problem. This is Ethernet 0 by 0. Now you can right click, say style. Then after that, you can just fill the color. So I'm going to fill the color like orange. Say okay, apply, say okay. So this is basically my service provider network. So here what I'm trying to do now, I'm going to take a text. Then I'm going to add, I'm going to configure RIP version 2. That's what I'm going to configure it here. Because why I choose RIP version 2? Because it's easy for everybody to configure it. Okay, guys. Now, what is my plan here? Between router 2 and router 3, that I'm going to configure 192.1.23.0/24. Between router 3 and router 4, I'm going to configure 192.1.34.0/24. Okay, guys. Then after this, between my customer A to the service provider, that I'm going to configure 89.98.99.0/28. And here I'm going to configure 78.87.88.0/30. So this is my plan of action, guys. These are the things that I'm going to configure it. But here in router 3, I'm going to write one default route towards my local internet. You get my point, guys? Or else what I will do, I can tell this guy, go and get the IP address from Ethernet 0. So inside my local network in my home, I have a DHCP service which is running already. So from there is going to get one IP address, and along with that is going to get default route, which is going to inject it in my router 3. I hope everybody is clear, guys. Then after that, what I will do, I am going to redistribute that static route inside my RIP. That's it. Then after that, you will get an internet, the real internet. You get my point? And also here in customer A, I'm going to configure one default route towards my service provider, because especially this customer location, whatever devices we have it, there is no control on the service provider side. And here also customer B, service provider, you cannot do anything in your router, guys. Maybe you can keep a router here, or you can keep a firewall. According to your choice, you can choose whatever device that you are going to keep it here. So service provider, he is not going to take any responsibility. So basically service provider is going to take care of it only this area. I hope you are clear, guys. Yeah. So now what I'm trying to do now, let's double click on your router 2 and router 3, router 4. Okay, let's go and set up all these things, guys. So first of all, I'm going to router 2. Now hit enter, conft, and here I'm going to configure interface serial 2 by 0, IP address 192.1.23.2, 25.25.25.0, because 23 is indicating that this is the connectivity between 2 and 3, and 2 is nothing but it's router 2. Then after that you can say no shut. Then here I want to configure E0 by 0. So interface E0 by 0 IP address, which is 89.98.99.1. Then what is the subnet mask here? 255.255.255. So as I told you guys, it's a /28. So /28 is nothing but how many bits are belongs to a network? 28 bits are belongs to a network. So until 24, it's a completely 255, 255, 255. That's what these three. And if you see in the fourth octet, this is 25, 26, 27, 28. What is the value of this first bit? 128, 64, 32, and 16. So here 128 plus 64, 192, 192 plus 32, 224, 224 plus 16, which is 240. So the fourth octet, 240. So 4 bits or belongs to a network, and remaining bits or belongs to a host. That's why you need to type here 240. That's very, very important to understand, guys. So I'm going to type 240. That's it. Say enter. Then you can say no shutdown. That's it. Now after this, you can go to router 3. Then in router 3, I need to configure total 3 interfaces, conft, which is interface serial 2 by 0. Then after that, you can type no shut. Then after that, IP address 192.1.223.3, 25.25.25.0. Then no shutdown. Then after that, interface E0 by 0. Then type IP address through DHCP. Then no shutdown. Then after this, go to interface serial 2 by 1, and this is the connectivity between 3 and 4, router 3 and router 4. So I'm going to configure IP address 192.1.34.3, then 25.25.25.0, then no shutdown. Save. That's it. Now for the verification, do show IP interface brief exclude unassigned. So you're able to see these 3 interfaces that I configured, and you can see Ethernet 0 by 0, he got the IP address from my local internet. Okay, the IP address he got it 192.168.254.193, and also I got this IP address through DHCP. And if you type do show IP route, there is a default route is injected. You guys can see here, this is the default route which is injected from my DHCP. So another one is that serial 2 by 0, which is the connectivity between router 2 and router 3, and the IP address is 3. So other side is 2. And this is the connection between router 3 and router 4, and this is router 3. Now, if you want to ping from here for the connectivity verification between router 2 and router 3, you can just type do ping 192.1.23.2. Now you are able to see the reply. That's it. Now I need to go to router 4. In router 4, I'm going to configure it interface serial 2 by 0, IP address 192.1.34.4.255.255.255.0. Then you can type no shutdown. Then after this, I'm going to configure interface E0 by 0. This is connected to my other service provider. IP address 78.80.7.88.1 25.25.25. What is the number that I'm going to? If it is a slash 30, it's very simple, guys. Slash 30. So slash 30 means 30 bits are belongs to a network, right? So until slash 24, you will have a 255, 255, 255, and these bits, 8 out of 8 bits, few bits are converted into the network and remaining bits are the host. What is those bits? So you need to calculate 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 and 32. These two bits are belongs to a host. And here if you see the bit values 128, 64, 32, 16, 8 and 4. So now you need to calculate 128 plus 64, 192, 192 plus 32, 224, 224 plus 16, 240, 240 plus 8, 248, 248 plus 4, 252. So you need to type 252. So here you need to type 252. You get my point, guys? This is very, very important, and these are just a basics that you need to understand. So now what I'm trying to do, just go here and type 252. Then after that, hit enter. Then you can type no shutdown. That's it. Enter. So far, you did the save. Now what you can do, you can type do show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. I don't want to see unassigned means whatever it doesn't have IP address, I don't want to see them. So that's why I type unassigned. Now this is the connection between router 3 and router 4. So if you want to verify whether I can able to ping 192.1.34.3, so I'm able to ping. That's perfectly fine for me. And also, as I committed to you guys that I'm going to configure between router 2, router 3 and router 4 that I'm going to configure RIP. So let's go to router 2. So you can type, first of all, verify the interfaces, exclude unassigned. Now I'm going to type router rip version 2, no auto summary, network. Then I'm going to advertise 89.0.0. Then next one is that network 192.1.23.0. That's it. Say exit. Then after this, go to router 3 and do the same command here. So you just advertise only these two networks only, guys. These are very, very important. And this is belongs to a static, right? So already I have a static route, default route, which is injected in my routing table. I'm going to redistribute this default route inside my RIP protocol. So what I'm going to do now, router rep version 2, no auto summary, network 192.1.23.0, network 192.1.34.0. Now just write it. Okay, guys. Now go to router 4 and just see what are the networks that you want to advertise. Now you can type router rep version 2, no auto summary, network 78.0.0.0, network 192.1.34.0. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, guys. And go to router 3, go to router 2, perfectly fine. Now you can type do show IP route. Now you guys can see here there is a rip route which is injected. And if you see in router 3, there is nothing. Okay, there is 89 network is injected here. And if you go to router 4, do show IP route. You can see here there is a two networks which is injected there. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, during my recording I just got a call. Yeah, so right now you can see here there is a two networks which is there by using it learned from RIP protocol, which is 89 network and 192.1.23. Now what I'm trying to do here, if you are going to type here do ping 4.2.2, when you hit enter, by default your router is going to drop this information. Why? Because he doesn't have a route related to 4.2.2.2. But now what I'm trying to do, I just want to do some magic in router 3 because router 3 is connected with the real internet. So there what I'm trying to do, I will do the magic. Then after that you guys can come back and see here, then you are going to get the internet, the real internet guys. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do, let's go to router 3. Here what I'm trying to do, I just want to say go to router rep and type this command default information originate. So save. Now you guys can see here, go to router 2, do show IP route. You got the default route from RIP. You get my point? And also you can see in router 4 type do show IP route. Then you got one more default route here. So now if you are going to type it in router 2, you can see, are you able to get internet now? Still there is no internet guys. Yeah, because the router 3 is able to receive that, but unfortunately router 3 what it will do is going to send to the internet, but the internet it doesn't know how to return the traffic. Because you get my point guys, because whenever you see the information is going to 192.168.254.1, that's my home router, he doesn't know how to reply back. I hope you are clear. Yeah. So that's why what we are going to do before we are sending to internet, we need to do a NAT. So that NAT we are going to do it here in my router 3. So what I'm trying to do here, access list. Okay guys, just exit from here. Access list number 1, permit. I'm not saying any network, I just simply say any because I don't want to specify any specific network. Simply I'm going to say any. Then after that I can say IPNet inside source list number 1 interface, because here E0 by 0 is connected to the internet overload. That's it. Then after that what you are going to do, interface E0 by 0 IPNet is outside. Then interface serial 2 by 0 IPNet inside. Then you can go to interface serial 2 by 1 because sometimes maybe the request is going to come from router 4 as well. So I'm going to say IPNet inside. That's it guys. That's the beauty of it. Now what you can do, now go to router 2, then type do show IP route. Okay, this is a route is there. Then you can type do ping 4.2.2. Congratulations. You are going to see that you are getting a real internet guys. Correct? Now if you say do ping 8.8.8, super. Do you want to trace? Do trace 4.2.2. Congratulations. See guys. Everybody, the real internet is there. Real internet, you are able to see it. Correct? So now this is the beauty of it. So especially when you are trying to demonstrate to your students, or if somebody asks you, can you please build your own network? Then this is the way how you are going to build it. That's the beauty of it. Okay guys, now I'm going to stop this. So because just you can say Control Shift 6. Okay, then it's going to stop. And this is the shortcut is belongs to this guy as well. Okay guys, this is my Epic Pen. That is also shortcut. That's the reason you're able to see when you press Control Shift 6, you're able to see this what I written before. So I just want to delete that. Now what I'm trying to do now, I just want to try www.google.com. Again, this is not able to happen. Why? Because you need to specify inside your router who is your DNS server. So I can say IP name server 8.8.8.8 and 1.1.1.1. That's my secondary DNS server. Then if you type to ping www.google.com, still is not happening. Why? Somebody has to send this information, okay, to the DNS server. Then DNS server has to resolve the IP address and it has to reply back. So it's not translating. That's a problem. So for that, you need to type in Cisco IP domain lookup. You need to type this command. Now you just go and type this. You are able to see this is the IP address of your google.com. So simply can type do ping www.facebook.com. You can able to see it. Do ping www.youtube.com. You can able to see. Do ping www.gmail.com. You can able to see it. You get my point, guys? These are all public IPs that you can able to resolve it. So this is the real internet. You get my point, guys? So that you don't need to worry. But here the challenge is that in your customer side, how you are going to provide the internet connection. You get my point? That is the one of the biggest challenge for us. Those things also I'm going to demonstrate in my next video. You get my point, guys? Now you guys can see here, this is how you are going to configure your service provider network, especially when you are now if you want to configure the VPN, or if you are going to configure the like a static NAT, dynamic NAT, or PAT, if you want to do some troubleshooting, and if you want to understand the technology, how it's going to work, this is the way how you are going to build your lab. You get my point, guys? So now this is and also I forgot to show it to you in router 4. Can I able to do that? Congratulations. Can I able to do this again? No, I'm sorry for it. Then again, you need to say IP name server 8.8.8.8 1.1.1.1. Then after that, I can say IP space domain lookup. IP space domain lookup. That's it. Now you can say www.ping www.google.com. There you go. It's going to work perfectly fine without any challenges, guys. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do now in my next video that I'm going to show it to you, if you are at the customer side and you know that public IP, what is there, and how you are going to configure the public IP, and what are the things that customer is going to take in care. Those things that we are going to see in my next video. I hope this has been informative, and I would like to thank you for viewing.